Hello there, crafty friends. It's Jackie Ball-Hayes from Clump and Stampers. Today we're going to make a masculine card, or you could make it for anyone actually, but I'm kind of doing a collage vintagey look. We're gonna do a little blending on it. Super simple card though, because we're using a template from the template book. It's probably where I start most of my cards, is I go to my templates, they give me inspiration, and then I create from there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's go ahead, flip the camera down, and let's get to work. Okay, we kind of have a lot going today, but it's a simple card, so just stick with me as we go step by step. We're actually going to use 3 stamp sets. Simply Said, my go-to for greeting. Natural Botanicals, this is a set that I really hadn't played with till recently, and I'm like, it's perfect for masculine cards, or I'm going to show you a version using the flower as well. This is actually a set that Stampin' Up! Considers reversible, and that's why you have these light gray images on there. You can take these stamps and put them upside down on your block and then ink the back side to get more of just a bold silhouette and image of it. And I'll show you a couple examples where I used it that way as well. And then I had this guy sitting around for a while. Elements of Text, just a good background. You know, we always tend to grab designer series paper or embossed image, but this is just perfect when you want to just make a really nice subtle background. So that's what we're going to do. All right, let's start by, I think as long as I got this here, this is kind of my scrap paper. We're going to stamp and cut out an image. Now, like I said, I used my template book. I use this all the time, you know, when I kind of have an idea, but I'm not sure what I want. So I start flipping through here, and I came across this one, number 6. And that's what I'm going to use, and I used it to design the card that I'm going to share with you today. Okay, let's set this over, and I already have one of my leaf images here, and we're going to just ink this up in shaded spruce and stamp it on the scrap paper here. And then we're going to just fussy cut it. This set doesn't have dies, and honestly, I don't mind fussy cutting even, you know, when it's pretty simple images like this. And there's times that I have dies even that I'll just go ahead and quickly fussy cut. So as we're doing that, back to the template book, if you don't have it, it is the best resource. Make sure you check out the link in my video description. It'll take you over to my website, and I actually have the card template book that has 54 different, I think it was 54 card templates in it, as well as we have a fun fold book also that has fun fold card templates. So if you like to make fun folds and, you know, kind of struggle with all the cutting, scoring, measurements, and all that jazz, check out that book. Okay, we are almost done here. See, this was simple. You know, I'm not cutting it perfectly along the edges, but that's okay. There we go. Now, before we set this aside and bring in the other pieces, I've got a blending brush here, and we're gonna add just, I probably have ink on here already. I wanna just put a little bit of that shaded spruce, not too much, don't want it too dark, but just to kind of get rid of a little bit of the white on there. I don't know if you can see that. I can, it's just really subtle. Okay, let's set that aside. And then we're gonna bring in our focal layer. And this is where I'm gonna use one of these elements of text. I don't even know what it says. It just makes a great background. So we're gonna ink it up. We've got crumb cake. And I'm going to take my little focal layer piece here, and we're just going to stamp this in the middle, like so, just creating that background. Now, it was just a little bit too white for me, so I took a blending brush. Now, this happens to be one of the mini brushes. It doesn't matter. I just happen to have crumb cake on it already. And when I do this, and whenever I'm blending, I like to make sure I start off my paper and then just kind of swirl it in, because you'll see where I'm getting these, like, I like to just call them blobs. If you just start right on there, you're going to get those blobs. And we don't want that. We just want kind of a subtle, almost a vintage look here. So we'll just kind of keep going until you get as much as you want. You know, start light, go light, because you can always add. But once you get it too dark, you can't do that. Okay, let's bring in that shaded spruce again. And I have the words, thank you. I think this should be dark enough. Oh yeah, see, that shows up on there just fine. And let's see, as long as we're stamping, you know what? We got one other piece here. Okay, here is a strip. This is from that template, okay? And I'm gonna take, this was kind of a splotches or speckles, and we're gonna just stamp this randomly on this strip. Again, just adding some texture, so it's not just cardstock. Let's see, go like that. And then if you want to, if you even want to put some color on there, you can. Okay, we'll just get that, then it'll kind of stand out a little bit more. Okay, there's that. I think we have all our parts and pieces. So we're gonna grab our card base, and for this we're using basic beige, and then we need to use our bone folder here. I always like to use that. I scored it and then I fold it, that way it'll lay flatter for us. And following the template, okay, I will have the measurements for this card over on my website. Otherwise, if you do have the template book, it is template number 6. So you can go that. Otherwise, I'll give this one to you. So grab it over on the website. I'll also have the list of all the products and stuff and pictures of what I'm making. And I got a couple other ones to share with you as well. So we're just going to layer that. And then this oh no, we got a little bit of smudge there. That's okay. Handmade, right? Put some adhesive on there, and then this piece layers over. Now with this template, I mean, these pieces could be designer series paper, they could be embossed cardstock, whatever. I'm just going for the layout. Goodness, where do I have that ink on my hands? We're making a mess. So we're gonna go ahead and use some dimensionals on this, and we'll pull those off, and we're gonna, this is our focal layer. Okay, so we're gonna just pop that up right about so. I feel like I need to stamp something there. And then here's that piece that we cut out, and we'll use some dimensionals on this as well. And we're gonna just layer it on about, let's see, how should we do that? About so, because we wanna make sure we see the thank you. So there you go, don't look at that part. So that is our quick and easy masculine card. Just using a couple different stamp sets. I'm trying to get that vintage. Maybe this makes it more vintage collage-y look with it. Let me bring in a couple other ones. Here is the first one I made. You can see here I used Miss You and a little bit more green on those leaves, but there's that same layout. And then this one, I decided to play with the flowers. So again, I just stamped and fussy cut 2 of those flowers, added a little linen thread on there, but it's the same card design. Now, I have a couple other ones to share with you using these same products. So you'll see here, I just stamped another one of those elements of text, and I did use the reverse. You can see first I used crumb cake, and I did the reverse of that flower, and then I stamped this one just offset a little bit, but super simple card, just the thank you and a little strip of cardstock on there. I actually didn't finish that one, so I'm just holding it on here. I'll do that when we get off the video, so you can see how that is. And then I did the same with this one. So I'll hold it on there so you can see what it's gonna look like. But again, I used the reverse on there, so it's just kind of that collage look, a little bit of blending in there to just kind of tone down that white a little bit and thinking of you. So super simple cards using those products, kind of getting that collage look. So I hope you like these ideas using these, a little bit different, not my normal types of projects that I make, but they're quick and easy and they're beautiful. So thanks for watching, friends. We'll be stamping again real soon. Have a stamp happy day.